So, hello, welcome back to the next episode of the Self-Development with Tactics fucking podcast. Yeah, just see now that there are actually some glitches in the video. I hope it's not pretty much disturbing you and or your mood or whatever. I hope you're just so fucking pumped as I am. It is such a nice weather and it's such a nice day, and I'm feeling incredible. Yeah. Just before I actually wanted to go through another book. It was the $100 startup. But I was like, I don't know. It sounded for me like, okay, I have been going through this one already, but I don't know. I actually should make a list of what books I've actually been discussing. This would be actually a good one. Maybe I'll start. But it should be digital because then I would just lose it if not. But yeah, as you can see in the background or not, if you're in the podcast, and yeah, actually, thank you. If you're just listening to the podcast, I've seen that some people are actually now listening to them. I don't know who. So yeah, so if you're right now listening to my podcast, please DM me on Instagram or on Facebook or on Twitter or Tumblr actually also. Yeah, I would be fucking interested in it and in you. So just, yeah, text me, because there's also or only just some kind of one view or one play on every single episode. But yeah, but because I always forget it, I'm Christopher Walch. I'm an 18-year-old graphic design student from Austria, and I'm pretty fucking pumped to go through through this book summary with you. And I'm also pretty much interested in marketing and getting the best out of life, being healthy. Yeah, quite a lot of things actually. And and yeah, I'm also thriving for having my own business and my own thing so that I can just live with just providing things for other people, providing some value for other people, and just being financially in a good place, emotionally also, because I think having my own business will make me more happy than working for somebody else. It always depends on what people I'm working with. But yeah, because I really love people, actually. This is one of the things that I quite recognized in the past 5 years or 4 years, that I'm actually attending this graphic design school that I am attending quite right now. And a lot of people hate it. A lot of people are like, I don't want to go to school. And I don't know if it's a thing because of, being a teenager or being just an adult or near adult, that a lot of people just don't like to go to school, or if it's really about the school, because yeah, we actually do have a lot of school. I'm in a school for 40 hours a week, which is, yeah, not quite 40 hours, so 40 school hours, which is actually 50 minutes. It's pretty a lot, and it's pretty a lot to do as well. So yeah, and I still just think about it like, okay, I still have the time for doing all the podcast episodes and doing the posts and doing everything that I'm doing quite right now, which is totally a good sign for me, because this just yeah, shows me that I would be actually able to do this while I'm working or besides I'm working, if I'm then in a real economy, which I'm yeah, which hopefully will be the next year actually, because next year I will be graduating, and I think afterwards I just really just immediately start to work there, or to work, because I think being a practitioner and being just an executioner is the best thing to learn new things, because I think if you're just doing things, you probably just, yeah, there will just be other problems than if you're just learning about the things. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I don't want to study anything, right now, and I just want to see where I can work, for what people I can work, for whom I can work actually, because I would actually pretty much like to work for somebody that I deeply admire and somebody that I know that I can learn something from. So I'm not pretty willing to go to the next fucking stupid agency to work for them, because yeah, I just want to raise the bar for myself, even though I would have to work for them for free. But yeah, that's totally fine. I think then I would just have three jobs. So my side hustle, so the podcast, then the actual agency or the person I'm working for, and the side hustle that's that's hopefully giving me a little bit money to even exist. Would be even a good plan. It's just a lot to do, and if I get ill, I'm totally fucked, I think. But yeah, I think this would be quite a good idea. I've taken the idea from Gary Vee actually, but I think it's great. You just learn a lot of things, you get the money, and you just work with someone you know that, yeah, he or she can learn you a lot of things, which is definitely a good thing. But yeah, as you can see in the background, we will discuss Leaders Eat Last by Simon Sinek. This is actually a book that was recommended by Paul Miners. I'm on the paulminers.com website right now. At the end of another book summary that I've been reading or going through just lately, or recently. And yeah, I'm just pretty interested in Simon Sinek himself, because I think, yeah, he's just a pretty good guy, and he has a really great worldview in terms of having a company, having a good culture in the company, being nice to the people, and just providing value for the people. And it's not about, having a business because of having a business, but having a business because of just, giving value to other people and helping them, making their life even better than it is right now, which is definitely something that I stand for as well, because I quite think like, yeah, I don't want to do something for my life long that's just, yeah, generating money for me, but it's not giving anything back to somebody else. I think this would just, I don't know, would just drown me some sort of. But yeah, I will go on with Leaders Eat Last by Simon Sinek. So Leaders Eat Last is a fantastic read all about how leaders can create organizations and cultures that allow workers to go home at the end of the day feeling fulfilled by the work that they do. And this is actually something I as well find pretty fucking good, because yeah, you just want to take care of employees. You want to let them feel very, very good so that they can, work properly and are happy to go to your company and work for you. By creating an environment built on trust, teams will pull together again and again to help the tribe not just survive, but to flourish. If you enjoyed the summary, I highly recommend you read the complete Leaders Eat Last book. Actually, Simon Sinek, net worth, pretty interested in it all the time, because I'm just not willing to just read something from someone who actually achieved nothing in his own life and is just, creating money through writing books about money, which is totally something you should look for as well. So I've actually looked him up before, 15 million as a net worth, which is, but it was 2015, so it actually might be a little bit more now. So it's quite a lot, yeah. I want to not dismiss this, but it's something relative as well. So yeah, if you just compare it to Bill Gates or Jeff Bezos, it's quite nothing. But yeah. So who is this book for? Leaders Eat Last is ideal for anyone who leads, whether it be a small team, an entire organization, a community, or a family. As a leader, it's important to create a culture that leaves everyone happy and fulfilled, and this is exactly what Simon describes. Simon emphasizes that when an environment is built on trust, teams will work together, have each other's back, and survive and thrive. Definitely, if you just have a team where everybody is just friends and everybody likes each other, and everything is good, and the whole framework around it is also just making the employees or just the team happy and fulfilled and all these things, they will definitely thrive for just doing more and helping each other and being like, okay, yeah, not pretty much looking at themselves all the fucking time. About the author, following on from Simon Sinek's Successful Start With Why, which is actually a book that I've been discussing on this channel as well. Simon continues on with his goal of inspiring leaders and organizations to inspire others. Simon believes in a world where everyone is fulfilled by their work, that they know their why, and are constantly doing things that inspire them. Simon is a trained ethnographer, and his books draw upon real-life experiences and examples to identify a naturally occurring pattern, a way of thinking, acting, and communicating that gives some leaders the ability to inspire those around them. In the summary, to begin the summary, we will cover our basic need for protection and security in working environments. Then we'll dive into a few scientific facts to back this up. Then we will discuss why we are in our current state and how we got to this point before moving on to discussing Simon abstracting challenge. Next, we will summarize Simon's leadership lessons before a brief look at our currently society, and finally, we will be examining whatever what Simon thinks Simon thinks it takes to be a good leader. I'm now a little bit feared, to be honest, because I don't know if I've been going through this book already. I've just seen, besides the whole thought, the author of these summaries just tends to use the same summaries or the same expressions pretty often, which is totally normal. And if it saves time, I would definitely do it as well. And therefore, I'm not always in terms of reading the summary or for whom this book is. It's always a little bit dangerous for me because I always think like, okay, this is something that I've read, but actually I don't think that I have read Leaders Eat Last, because I didn't know Simon Sinek before that well, and therefore I'm like, no, I don't think so. I hope not. I hope everything should be fine. And if yes, I just went through it 2 times, and this is also not that bad, I think. So to begin, this summary will cover our basic, I've read this one. So the book summary, basic needs. We need protection, definitely. Simon describes an environment where bonds are strong, where employees share the glory with others, success is celebrated, and everyone goes home at the end of the day feeling fulfilled by their work. And this has nothing to do with money earned or prizes won. This environment that Simon describes is the result of leaders that put the well-being of the employees first. And in response to this, the employees work hard, give everything they've got to the organization, and support each other. And, if it is a company that is working with clients or customers, they definitely just, be more kind of nice to the customers as well. Because, if they are treated well, and if, they are just in a good mood and they are fulfilled and so on, I definitely think that they will just, work a little bit nicer and just, be a little bit nicer to the employees, and not employees, but customers. If the employees feel that their leader protects them, this will be reflected in their work. Simon considers an exceptional organization one where the leader is providing the protection and everyone else looks out for each other. They feel safe to push each other and take risk with big payoffs. The key to making this work is empathy, and the leaders have to lead the way. Simon makes it clear that putting your employees first does not mean that business will not thrive. These are the organizations that will continue to innovate and outperform the others. Yeah, because I think it's from the inside out, definitely. If your company in the inside is working great and everything is okay and, everybody feels great, I think, the product and the outputs that this company is doing will actually be great as well. It makes also sense that, if the inside of the company is bad and nothing is working quite properly, especially, the relation between the employees and, everybody else but the leader with the leader. Because the leader is leading the whole company, and if he is just not able to do it, everything won't be that good. We are family, we are family. Being a leader is like being a parent, and the company is like a new family to join, one that will care for us like we are their own, in sickness and in health. If we are successful, our people will take on our company's name as a sign of the family to which they are loyal. And I truly think that, if people are just working for, let's say, Apple or Microsoft or, other big giants, they definitely will be proud of that. They will definitely say, yeah, I'm working for Apple and I'm the CMO of Apple. And they will definitely be like, wow, this is something like prestige. And but I think this is only, the way or only the case if quite it's, first of all, a good company or just a well company in terms of economics, but also if the company is treating the people right and everything is quite good, I think. So being a leader is... where is it? So being a leader is like being a parent, and the company is like a new family to join. Yeah, we need to belong. Simon talks about a circle of safety. And this works to reduce fears and threats to everyone inside the circle. It means that employees feel safe and secure. They can therefore focus their time on seizing opportunities and helping the business to thrive. Yeah, I think this should be the case actually. The employee should totally be on the focus of just, working and, doing the stuff and being happy with working and not just thinking about like, I don't know, just certain things that only have something, sorry, have something to do with the company in terms of, I hope my boss isn't mean to me because I just can't work today because my child is ill or, some things like this. If they can fully concentrate on working and being fulfilled and so on, they will definitely work and have a great time at your company. It is easy to know when we are in a circle of safety because we can feel it. We feel valued by our colleagues and we feel cared by our superiors. We become absolutely confident that the leaders of the organization and all those with whom we work are there for us and will do what they can to help us succeed. Regrettably, Simon knows that unfortunately this is not the norm. The norm is for companies to see profits and margins as the utmost importance. They fail to prioritize employees' needs and happiness. This is where leaders and organizations are failing. Simon really pushes the message that our ability to perform depends entirely on how we feel. And it's definitely the truth. And it's definitely something that you've experienced as well. If you're feeling bad and if you're feeling just, not good in terms of your psychological or mental health, or you're not feeling good in terms of your physical health, you definitely won't be working as much or as productive as if you're just at your top level of, health quite, or of feeling good. And if you just think like, your boss is just a piece of shit and he doesn't care about you and, nobody needs you anyways in this company, then you definitely won't be as hardworking as if it was the total opportunity or opposite, sorry. Simon really pushes the message that how safe and secure we feel in an organization, and if we feel well looked after. The key is to empower your employees and enable them to work to their full potential. And it's science, biology. Simon explains that it's in our nature to understand and take advantage of initiatives. Our bodies work hard to provide feel-good chemicals that are used as a reward for working hard, looking after others, surviving and ultimately thriving. Just as a boss may provide a bonus for reaching a milestone, your body responds to successes with these feel-good chemicals. Biologically, serotonin is an oxytocin that acts as an incentive to encourage us to build trust and loyalty and work well with others. Serotonin encourages social connections and cooperation resulting in better work and survival. Definitely, and this makes sense, I don't know, 10 million years ago, or just, let's go back to the first human being, they all had to just look after each and another because we all would die or would have died instead. If nature didn't put something in us, or God or whatever you're believing in, didn't put something in us that just, makes us look after each and another and makes us feel kind of willing to help others, or just really bad if we don't help others, we would all have died, and I wouldn't exist because, these people wouldn't have helped each other and they all would have died because there were so much fucking predators. There were fucking tigers everywhere. Yeah, not like everywhere, but there were, way many animals and way many other fucking creatures that, could have killed you, and especially if you're alone and, or maybe you and your family alone because, this makes sense. You would have died, if nature wasn't like, we all have to just, help each other. It's all about the chemicals. It goes way back, the basic human instinct to hunt, gather, and ultimately achieve. The reason we have this instinct is the combination of both endorphins and dopamine. They make us feel good when we find something we are looking for, build something we need, or accomplish our goals. Definitely. And these are the chemicals of progress. Simon explains that endorphins. Have I actually started the episode? Yes, I've started. So Simon explains that endorphins' job is to mask physical pain. More often than not activated when we are stressed or fearful, endorphins' job is to mask the pains with feelings of pleasure. Yeah, and I think this is actually a good example. If you if you just got hurt, or if you just kind of if you just hurt yourself or somebody else hurt you, and this was such a quick moment, and you were so in a shock position, and you felt so shocked, you will definitely feel not the pain in this exact situation. You feel the fucking pain afterwards because you were so shocked, and all these chemicals and or I don't know what things they are, but I think endorphins actually as well, because adrenaline is this also an endorphin? I don't know, but nevertheless, or anyways, actually, I'm always just mixing these two words up. Anyways, you definitely don't feel anything, if you just are under shock or you have so much adrenaline in your blood that you won't feel the pain. This is definitely something you have experienced on yourself as well. When combined with dopamine, that feeling of satisfaction you feel upon completing a task or reaching a milestone, it becomes clearly why these two chemicals work together well to encourage us to hunt, gather, and achieve. Yeah, I think they just make us willing to do something. If we were like, I don't give a fuck about everything, I don't care. Why why would we then exist if we are like, I don't care if I live or not, I don't care if I have enough, I don't know, food or not. It's a little bit a bad example because it's the feeling of being hungry and just the willingness to progress is definitely something different, but yeah, maybe not fully. I don't know. Confidence, as Simon discusses, is something that we all need a boost of from time to time. We need to feel that we are respected and liked. The feeling of pride comes from serotonin. Finally, Simon comes to perhaps the best chemical of all, oxytonic, or oxytocin, or oxytocin. I think oxytocin. Or better known as friendship, love, and trust. This chemical is released when in the presence of our closest friends or when we give and receive nice things. Oxytocin is what humans crave the most. Or oxytocin, sorry. Bringing it back to the workplace. If we work in an environment in which leadership tells the truth, in which layoffs are not the default in hard times, and in which incentive structures do not pit us against one and another, the result, thanks to an increased level of oxytocin, is serotonin, is trust and cooperation. Simon emphasizes the role of leaders as the post-pivotal or pivotal. And they are the ones who need to make sacrifices to ensure that those working with and below them are looked after, respected, and fulfilled. A leader builds trust by providing the time, energy, and money. If it comes to it, a leader maybe even need to provide the food of their own plate. When it matters, leaders choose to eat last. And now the whole book title makes sense. And it makes sense, the leader just has to eat what's left, quite, and that's definitely the thing. And this is a funny thing, and this is the greatest thing about them all. If you just read a lot of book summaries, if you're just really interested in other people and how they're working and what they are doing, and just being in this world of success and rich people and people who are thriving for greatness, is that sometimes, or really sometimes, everything makes sense. And these are, those moments that really let me feel so amazing. And, it's such a moment right now. I'll explain it. Gary Vee is always talking about, as an leader or CEO, you're always working for the people, and the people aren't working for you. And I was always like, okay, I quite understand it, but I don't fully understand it. But now it makes sense. Because, to provide the food and to provide everything else, you have to work. You totally have to work to just, in terms of food, buy food and, go to the supermarket, and you just need money for that. And for this money, you have to work. And yeah, maybe, or sometimes you do actually have to give your food to other people and let them eat your things. So as he said, uh, if if it comes to it, a leader maybe even need to provide the food off their own plate. And this is actually what Gary V meant. Sometimes you just have to work for your employees because you sometimes just have to give them your food, and you're just providing them with certain things, and for those certain things you have to work. Have courage. Simon identifies courage as one of the most important characteristics of a leader. As a leader, you need to represent yourself as someone who is courageous, and can provide protection to those working below you. In return, workers will feel trusted, they will feel like they have space, freedom, and ability to work harder and innovate on new ideas, take risks, and know that they will be backed up by their leaders. Yeah, and this is also the thing that Gary's always just, emphasizing, that he's the last line of defense. He's the last one. It kind of sounds like, yeah, everything comes up to him quite at the end. And this is just it, because everybody's just working for him and he just has to back everyone up. Quite. Maybe there are some steps in between, just the internship guy and Gary, so the CEO and the internship guy, and there will definitely be some other employees in between, but at the end, yeah, he is just the last line of defense. Simon explains, Simon emphasizes that the result is always better work. Simon explains that if the leader is not courageous and the employees do not feel protected, they will be more likely to not innovate in fear of doing something wrong or breaking a rule. They will simply come to work, do what's necessary of them and nothing more. And this creates unhappy employees, definitely, if they're not creating something themselves, if there is no creativity involved, because they just, basically do as they just pointed out before, they just do what's necessary. And yeah, I think you just experience it yourself if you're just, doing the same shit over again, which, told you somebody, and you do not have any room for creativity or any room for just kind of progressing in terms of the companies, letting the company progress, or progress in terms of yourself even, and your personality and your human your human being, and then you definitely feel bad, if you just are unhappy at work. How did we get here? Bloom the boomers, whatever this means. Blame the boomers. It's blame, not bloom, blame. Simon explains that due to the sheer numbers that the baby boomer generation has essentially remodeled society. They are in charge and have been leading the way for quite some time. This came into full effect in the 1980s and the 1990s. And due to this outnumbering, society is feeling the effects of an imbalance. Imbalance, as history has proven over and over, will self-correct suddenly and aggressively unless we are smart enough to correct it ourselves slowly and methodically. Yeah, got it. It's the desire for instant gratification and the state of our organization that lack strength, trust, and loyalty that means that our leaders may not be up to the job. They are not confident or patient enough to pave the path needed. Simon points out that people are no longer just people, but perceived as anything from customers, employees, or shareholders to an email address or expenses to be tracked. We live in a virtual world, and this, as an abstraction, means that not only our economy will suffer, but our state of being, our happiness. And happiness, if you have been with me for a longer time than just a few days, or maybe now, or quite right now, you definitely know that I'm just really into being happy, and happiness, I just see happiness as a really important thing, which it is, because without happiness, I think nothing else is good. If you aren't happy, your health won't be as good, I think. And everything but happiness is a byproduct for happiness. And this for me makes sense, because if you're happy and you're working, and okay, the work just makes maybe it's not the work that makes you happy, but you're just still happy, and therefore the work is good as well. And if you're happy, your health will be well as well as well. Because yeah, why not? Or at least you feel better about your health being not that good than if you weren't happy. But at the end, I think you also just recover better if you're happy. This is something I can deeply feel, and I just some kind of experience myself. I think, quite all the time when I'm just not feeling good physically, or I'm just ill, and having some, I don't know, infects or some shit like that. And I hope this will be not the thing for the next few years, because I hate being unhealthy, or I hate being ill, because I feel mentally ill then as well. This is just affecting my sorry, just put in some German words, because often this is actually a point, and I do hope that I'm not losing the other point. I'm quite mixing up German and English quite often, and often it feels like I want to say a German word and then I say something English, because I think my brain is just now in a state of deciding what's the real language I should be speaking or not. Yeah. And definitely today talking is really great, and it just runs really great, and everything is smoothly and fluently, which is definitely a good thing. But I just lost the fucking point. God. What was it? Yeah, sure. Every time if I'm feeling just, physically unhealthy or physically ill or physically not good, I always tend to be mentally ill or mentally not feeling good as well. Because, I don't know, maybe it's because only just my body isn't working as it should be, and therefore I'm just, unhappy or whatever, or I'm not quite able to do the things that I like to do, which is definitely going around and definitely just making the podcast and definitely just being sporty and then doing sports and so on. But yeah. So virtual world and abstractions. Simon defines abstraction as something that extends beyond physical space to include the nature of numbers. The bigger our companies get, the more physical distance is created between us and the people who work for us or buy our products. At such scale, we can no longer just walk into the aisles, what are aisles, or aisles, and count the cans of soup on the shelf either. And now we rely on documents that report the numbers, what we have sold, and how we have made, and how much we have made, sorry. And this is definitely the truth, and I quite feel like, okay, if you do just have a large company, it's nothing that personal anymore. You can definitely feel it with Apple, I think, in the really early days where everybody was just going to the garage of Steve and the other guy, which is something with W. Maybe I can't just pronounce it. I don't know. It's Bathlovsk. Is it something like this? No, I'm not looking it up. But I think this was definitely just really personal. If you just go to them and get your first kind of computer or whatever it was. And then it is now. Now you just go into a store and you just buy something from someone, and this definitely, does nothing have to do with Steve Jobs, obviously, but not with the really head of the company or something, or the really company itself. I think it's just okay. It's only a brand, and you're buying a piece of this company, but yeah, never mind. Simon concerns are confronting. He points out that this abstraction of reality and the separation from other human means that we, as a result, become less human. Our behaviors can be considered more and more inhuman, and we end up doing more harm to others than good. The picture he paints is not pleasant. Manage the abstraction. Simon has come up with 5 rules to help manage the emerging abstraction, to try to keep people real and accountable. The first one is keep it real. Keep it real. The Eminem song? I think definitely you know that. Keep it real, bring people together. It's so important to have human interaction in real life, not behind a screen. This is where trust is built and empathy, and we and how we learn to innovate. Yeah, this kind of paragraph above where he was just talking about the abstraction itself and why it is not something that it is pleasant. I thought like, okay, is this now just, correlated to a company or in terms of a company or really in terms of, real society or the whole society? But I think he just means just people in general. And I do think that real life human interactions are pretty important. Therefore, I'm quite hoping that there's some somewhere or at some point of time or at some point in my life I do have to do or not do have to do, but I do a job where I do just have to really interact with other human beings, if it is actually calling them or just talking to them or whatever, because this is something that I lack in. This is something that I quite not like to do, kinda, and I often am like, okay, I don't, want to talk to other humans sometimes, especially at the weekends where I'm just, listening to my audiobooks and so on, and I do just, prefer to go around and, keep everything for myself. Some sort of, but in school I definitely like all the human beings that are there. This is so amazing. But therefore I would like to have a job where I just call people, or I'm forced to do, because if I just now call someone or just I was even thinking about being a virtual assistant for someone, or just doing it, or being in such a hotline where I just talk to some consumers that might be confronting you with some fucked up shit, but yeah, maybe I'm even doing it. And if I'm doing it, I will definitely let you know. Rule number 2 is keep it manageable. Obey Dunbar's number. What's Obey Dunbar's? Is this a person? I don't know. Yeah, it's a person. Professor Dunbar established the concept that humans cannot maintain more than 150 close relationships. Anything beyond this will be affected and not receive the attention the relationship needs to thrive. Rule 2, meet the people you help. Again, get beyond the computer screen and take the time to see the actual tangible results of our time and effort. In turn, this will motivate us to push harder, to do more, and to be better. Definitely. I think, if you're having a company that's really giving value to somebody, it's, would be really great to just, go to these certain people or this, group of people and actually see for yourself and with your own eyes that you are doing something that's just great and that's helping people. I think this will totally motivate you even more to just, keep on doing what you're doing. Rule number 4, give them time and not just money. It's a common misconception that money is the only driver, but the reality is that a leader who offers their time and energy to those below them will cultivate a workplace with people who are more willing to give their time and energy in return. And the result is always going to be better work and better innovation. I think this is definitely true. If you're just a really really the head of a big company, just the really employees like, internship people and, the people that, do not have a lot to do with you, they will just really like to be just, be just talking with you. And I think just interactions like, how is everything doing? Is everything okay? Can I help you with something? As a leader to somebody, somebody you as a leader aren't pretty much working quite with, like in a team or something. You understand what I mean. I think this just can work or can just, provide very, very great value for these people. Rule number 5, be patient. As always, be fucking patient in the macro, but be moving and acting in the micro. Be patient, the rule of 7 days and 7 years. Simon uses the rule to describe the trust process. He acknowledges that it will take longer than 7 days to earn trust, but fewer than 7 years. Okay. There is no strict formula and everyone is different, but he emphasizes that it will take time and patience to build trust, and that's definitely true. And with this being said, and I unfortunately have to cut the episode, which takes up quite a lot of time, which is, the factor part. It's not about the work, but it's about the time that I do have to put in terms of, rendering everything out and, not actually in terms of cutting it, but in terms of, waiting for the render time or until it finished rendering, which is definitely a thing that is taking a lot of time. And most of all, I'm not quite able to do something besides it because, yeah, my fucking notebook would die if I would do this. I, as always, wish you a lot of happiness, health, wealth, success. I hope you're giving back something, because giving back is great, and as you can see, or as you know by now, it is crucial. Without helping each other, we would have died, and we wouldn't even exist. And it as well lets you feel just incredibly. This is something that's, yeah, scientifically proven, and this is maybe also something that you've experienced yourself. So therefore, help others, even if it's on core or just answering somebody's question. It could definitely be a good thing. This is something that I remind myself on quite often at the moment, because I feel like, okay, I want to help people, and just putting out my thing, and not being, yeah, I'm being active, but I could be more active in terms of really helping people, and therefore going to core and answering a few questions of people that might be pretty pretty important to them. It's definitely a good thing. And legacy, I wish you're just always nice. I wish you're just always trying your best to be good to other people, and just not to fuck with them, because don't you want to be remembered as someone who was just a great person, great to be around with, and sad that he isn't there anymore, or she isn't there anymore. This is definitely something that I want to have, and I want to be. And yeah, with that being said, something so philosophical. With that being said, I wish you a wonderful, wonderful, and wonderful day.